Peppa's baby sister, Evie Pig, is finally here. And from now on, the entire Peppa Pig series is about to change forever. Are you ready to find out what's already confirmed about Evie Pig's future and how she's going to become the most important character in the whole show? The first thing you need to know about the new little piglet is that her name is Evie Pig. And this character surprised all of us because no one expected a name like that. But the surprise is even better than fans imagined. Our research moved fast, and we already know the big reason why the name Evie was chosen. It's important to point out that Evie is a very common nickname in England, which is where the show takes place. For a long time, it was short for the name Evelyn. That's why we're calling it a nickname. But if you really want to know why Daddy and Mummy Pig chose to name their new daughter Evie, here it is. Evie means the desired one, or long-awaited. And that's a big clue that this character was meant to be born, not just by her parents, but by the entire Peppa Pig universe. Because it's almost certain that Evie is the chosen one in this world and is meant to play a major role. If you want to find out what that means, you better grab your popcorn and soda. Evie was born on May 20th, 2025, and that's a really important detail for the future. It means she's a Taurus. But what exactly does that mean? Maybe you don't believe in zodiac stuff, and that's okay. But since Evie is a cartoon character, this kind of detail is often used when shaping her personality. One interesting thing is that we know Evie was born exactly at 5:34 in the morning. And that matters because May 20th is the day the Taurus sign shifts to Gemini. The show's creators didn't want Evie to be a Gemini because everyone knows Peppa Pig is haunted by the ghost of a long-lost twin sister of our main character. So what does the birth time mean? It's simple. By being born at dawn, Evie avoided being born at the wrong time. And here's a fun fact. On May 20th, 2025, the day she was born, the zodiac change was set to happen at 3 p.m. The show's production team even shared the birth time to reassure fans. Taurus people are known for being patient, but also very stubborn. And most of all, they love to eat. So Edie's probably going to be the piglet who eats all the food in the pig family's house, and her siblings are likely to get annoyed at how much she eats without sharing. It's also pretty likely we'll see a lot of sibling fights because even though Evie is expected to be very patient, Taurus-born folks tend to scare everyone around them when they finally lose their temper. So maybe Evie is the kind of piglet who turns green like the Incredible Hulk when she gets mad. Do you think that's going to make fans like her more or less? Now let's talk about something a lot of fans haven't noticed, something that shows how Evie is a totally different kind of character than you might expect. She was born in the same place as several members of the British royal family. The place chosen for Evie's birth was the maternity ward at St. Mary's Hospital in London. And that's surprising for a few reasons, which we'll explain right now. First, this is the exact same hospital where Prince William's 3 children were born: Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. That means Mummy and Daddy Pig spared no expense to give Evie the best comfort possible, because according to our info, this hospital is incredibly expensive for childbirth. It costs over $50,000 a day. That's a pretty big detail, right? It means the Pig family spent a lot of money for their new baby's birth. Did they borrow money from Miss Rabbit? Or could this be a big reveal that the Pig family is actually very rich? Or maybe there's another theory. What if it was the Queen herself who paid to bring Evie into the world? Remember what we told you about the meaning behind the name Evie? It's very possible this little piglet is way more important to the royal family than fans think. But don't worry, we're going to talk more about that in a bit, so stick with us. And what about you? Would you rather be a prince, a princess, or a piglet? Drop a comment with #pig so we can get to know ya. You probably remember that Mummy Pig's pregnancy was all over the internet and TV. And now that Evie has been born, the same thing is happening again. That's why you need to understand that Evie is a much bigger deal than fans might realize. The TV show Good Morning Britain was the one to share both announcements. First, that Mummy Pig was pregnant a few months ago, and now that Evie has finally arrived. The host said Daddy Pig personally shared the first pictures of the new character, and thanks to that show, the world got to see Evie for the very first time. The whole world saw it, and that might be because in Peppa's universe, her family seems to be the only remaining pigs. The biggest theory is that pigs are endangered and might soon disappear from this world, which is honestly kind of sad. That's why Evie's birth may represent hope. She could be the beginning of saving a species that's nearly gone. And that's also why her name means the desired one or long-awaited, because Evie is proof that pigs might finally escape their tragic fate. According to the official Peppa Pig website, Evie's relationship with her siblings will have its ups and downs. The site itself says that Peppa and George will have mixed feelings about their new sister, but overall, both of them are really excited. Peppa is happy to be an even older sister now, and she's thrilled that the new baby is a girl. Since they're both girls, Peppa and Evie are expected to have a stronger bond, and Peppa will have lots to teach her little sister. Now that George is no longer the youngest, many people believe he might struggle a bit, since their parents will probably give more attention to baby Evie. But it's important to point out that the website says both piglets are very excited to welcome their new sister. The real concern now is baby Alexander. He's no longer the youngest pig in the pig family. Could he get jealous of his new cousin Evie? On May 30th, 2025, in theaters across the UK, Evie will officially join the series in a special episode titled Peppa Meets the Baby. This story is being shown in movie theaters because it's such an important moment for the show. So it's pretty much guaranteed that thousands of people will show up to watch. That day marks the very first official meeting between fans and Evie when the entire pig family travels to London, since we already know that's where she was born. Starting from this date, May 30th, the show will begin airing new episodes featuring Evie's adventures, with her arrival in the city being celebrated with a big party. The town's television station, which is run by Miss Rabbit, will also broadcast Evie's arrival in the series. Because of that, the entire show is going to change a lot. Maybe even the setting itself, since there's a good chance the pig family will move to London, the capital of England. And you could live right here in our hearts by subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications. It wasn't just TV that reported on Evie's birth, it was also announced on the streets of London by a royal town crier. A man dressed in a red ceremonial uniform covered in medals appeared in the streets of London to share the news. He rang a bell to get everyone's attention, and people stopped to listen. On the official announcement board, it read, "Mummy and Daddy Pig, along with Peppa and George, are delighted to announce the birth of baby Evie." And it also said, Evie was born at 5:34 in the morning, and both she and Mummy Pig are doing well. The town crier ended the announcement by saying, "Long live Evie," while the crowd clapped. That's pretty curious because people usually say that about members of the royal family, especially those in line for the throne. Another important detail in this announcement revealed something else. You might not know this, but families who are very wealthy or powerful often have something called a family crest. It's a special symbol that represents the members of a rich and powerful group. During the announcement of Evie's birth, we can see that the pig family has a crest. It's divided into 4 parts: a duck representing the place where the pigs live, a dinosaur symbolizing George, Teddy the bear representing Peppa, and a muddy puddle, speaking to pigs all over the world. There are also images of Peppa and George on the crest. Putting all these clues together, it's pretty safe to say that Evie is important because she's actually next in line for the throne, at least in the cartoon. Let's do a quick recap. 1. Her name is Evie, which means she was long awaited by many. 2. She was born in the same hospital as the princes of England. 3. The royal town crier said "Long live Evie," like he was announcing a future queen. 4. In the world of Peppa Pig, the current queen lives alone. She doesn't have any heirs in the show. And finally, the whole world, both online and on TV, is talking about this. That's probably why Evie is such a big deal. She's part of the royal family. But wait, doesn't that mean George and Peppa are royal too, since they're her siblings? That's a little tricky to answer. Maybe that's why we never see Daddy Pig's parents. They could be really important figures. If you've ever watched any show about kings and queens, you'll understand that choosing the next ruler isn't always so simple. Evie might be the chosen one for reasons only royal experts understand. But you have to admit, even Peppa didn't get this much attention when she was born. Could that cause problems in the future? Now let's show you some new details about this character. Evie seems to be a piglet who really loves the color yellow. According to the pictures Daddy Pig shared on TV, she wears a yellow hair bow. This probably means that as she gets a little older, Evie will wear a yellow dress to help tell her apart from her big sister, Peppa. So now you know that Evie is going to be a slightly different kind of piglet, and she'll probably keep wearing those little bows in her hair. Now stick around here on the channel. We've picked out 2 more videos for everyone to enjoy. We'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.